How you doing, everybody? Hope you're having a great day, and welcome back to another video in where I take characters from other shows and bring them into D&D. So today we're going to be doing Grayfia Lucifuge from Highschool DxD. And before we begin the video, I would like to first give a disclaimer, that the audio for this video might be a bit wonky as I'm using some new equipment and haven't gotten everything as how I'd want it to be. So yeah, this video was actually suggested by someone who commented on one of my previous videos. I do not remember your name, but your comment should be popping up on the screen right now. And thank you for commenting. And if you guys want me to do any characters you like, and leave them in the comments down below. The next character I'll be doing is going to be Humphrey Geller from He Who Fights with Monsters. Just needs a little bit more tweaking in there. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any suggestions. So with all that out of the way, let's get on with this video. So first, the name is going to be Grayfia Lucifuge. For the race, I went with the variant feral tiefling, mainly because it basically provided all the features I needed for this build. I could have gone with the custom lineage, but it just didn't feel right. Didn't give me the stuff I wanted. So by choosing this race, we automatically gain a +1 to intelligence and +2 to dexterity. We also gain dark vision for about 30 feet. Sorry, 60 feet, not 30, my bad. And we also gain hellish resilience. And we basically get to choose a variant tiefling thing, a feature. And I went with Hellfire. Now you could choose the wings too, but it kind of becomes redundant later on, as you might see. And now let's go on to the stats. Now, as mentioned before in the other videos, I do use the standard array for these videos, but you could roll for stats if you wanted to, but just keep them in this order. So at first we have charisma, which is going to be 15, then followed by constitution 14, dexterity 13, intelligence 12, wisdom 10, and last but not least, our dump stat is going to be in strength. I feel like most of my other videos I'm making, the dump stats ends up being strength. Yeah, so as for the background, I chose noble, which basically gives us a proficiency in history, but it also gives us a proficiency in arcana, or you can choose whatever else. So for my build, I chose sorcerer for our character Grayfia, mainly because she uses her own innate power, her demonic power basically, so innate sorcery, which is charisma based, which is sorcerer. And yeah, and in this build I made Grayfia basically a pyromancer, mainly because one of my favorite fight scenes that I have of her is when she fought Seraphil Leviathan when she was Seraphil C3. That fight went on for 10 days. I talked more about it in my previous video when I basically broke down Grayfia Lucifuge, so check that out if you haven't. So yeah, basically a pyromancer, mainly because Seraphil is a magic user who focuses on ice and water magic. So fire seemed to be the appropriate choice as a counter. So yeah, at level 1, we gained proficiencies, and I chose intimidation and persuasion. Also for sorcerer's origins, I took the draconic bloodline, as there is no official demonic bloodline, but you could flavor it to be a draconic bloodline. Dragon ancestor, I chose the red dragon, and you could flavor this to be something like, I don't know, the Lucifer clan having some kind of fire power. You know, you can make up shit as you go along. We also gain draconic resilience, basically giving us more resistance to fire. And then we come to the juicy part, which is the spellcasting. So at level 1, we gain 4 cantrips, or 0 level spells. I chose Control Flames, Firebolt, Mage Hand, and Mending. Pretty standard, I would say, for sorcerers. At level 1, I chose Charms Person and Disguise Self. And then we move on to level 2, where we gain Font of Magic. And for the spell, I chose Detect Magic. And then we move on to level 3. And at level 3, we gain our Meta Magic, and I chose, we gain 2 of them, and I chose the Quicken spell and the Empowered spell. And for our spell, we gain our first level 2 spell, which is going to be Scorching Ray. more fire spells basically. Level 4, we gain 2 ability points, and I chose 1 in Charisma and 1 in Constitution. And for spells, we gain 2 more and 1 cantrip, which is going to be Message. And the other I chose was Suggestion. Yeah, most of these spells, as you might have noticed, will help you during a social encounter. And because I think as a maid, Grayfia has a lot of social skills basically. So yeah, at level 5 we gain Dispel Magic. And now we move on to level 6 where we'll get our Elemental Affinity, and obviously we'll go with Fire, and we also gain another spell which I chose to be Counterspell. At level 7 we don't get any features, but I have a spell, we do get one, and I chose Wall of Fire. Pretty great spell, that one. And level 8 we gain 2 ability points. I chose 1 Dexterity, 1 Constitution, and for spell I chose Shield. Now this is a bit later to choose Shield. You might want to choose it before this, as it is actually a pretty good spell. Sorry about that. Yeah, it is actually a pretty good spell. So maybe you could remove one of these earlier ones and move it higher. And level 9 I chose Angrazer Scorcher. I do not know how to say this name. Most of the time whenever I use spells I just say Scorcher or whatever to move the character's name from there. And yeah, let's move on to level 10 where we gain Meta Magic. I chose Twin Spells to basically make you quicker caster, I guess, if you want to see it that way. And for spells I choose the Lightning Lure and Immolation. Lightning Lure is one of our very few non-fire based spells as damage spells in this entire build. And level 11 we don't get any features, but we do get another spell which is going to be Investiture of Fire. Investiture of Fire, is it how you say it? Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments down below. Yeah. And level 13 we don't get any features, but for a spell I chose Firestorm. And level 14 we gain Dragon Wings. Now you could talk to your DM and maybe change this for flavor wise, you know, to make it look like demonic wings or the devil wings in the anime. And they should probably go first. Basically does the same thing. And yeah, this is why I didn't choose the wings in the earlier part of the video and went with Hellfire. Yeah, so we don't gain any other spells, I believe. No, we do not. Did I talk about Firestorm? Just in case if I forgot. Yeah, so we also gain Firestorm at level 13 before 14. I think I did, but yeah, just mentioning it. And level 15 I chose Assault Stride for a spell, as we don't gain any other features. Assault Stride is one of my best spells ever. It came out in Fistman's Treasury of Dragons, but I've used it so much. But I flavor it instead of fire damage to do lightning damage. It makes me feel like Loxus from Fairy Tail, as lightning is one of my favorite damage types. Blue Dragons for the win. And level 16 we gain 2 ability points, 1 strength and 1 constitution. And we don't gain any more spells, I believe. Yep, we don't. And level 17 we gain Meta Magic, which I used was Transmuted spell to basically help you out with the high level fights. You know, if you don't need to use fire, you want to do it something else. And for the spell I chose Meteor Swarm. I mean, everyone's got to know what Meteor Swarm does. It's fucking crazy. If you've seen Critical Role and see in the last fight with campaign 1 Vecna using Meteor, it was more like a, was it Meteor Storm? I think yeah, it was Meteor Storm. And level 18 we gain Draconic Presence. You don't gain any other spells. And at level 19 we gain 2 more ability points, 1 in strength, 1 in dexterity, and we don't gain any more spells. And the same is true for level 20, where we don't gain any more spells, but we do gain a feature, which is Sorcerer's Restoration, which basically just increases our sorcery points. Now, if you've been following along, you might have noticed that I haven't maxed out our Charisma, and you'll find out why later on. And to find that out, you need to go into D&D Beyond to see our character. So yeah, we are now in D&D Beyond. As you can see, this is how it looks like. Yep, I already went through this. I don't know why I'm showing you this, but oops. Let's see, abilities already checked in. description as noble. Already went through this. And the main thing, the equipment. Now the reason why I didn't max out charisma is mainly because of this item right here, the Ion. I don't know how to say this part. Stone of Leadership. Now what this basically does, it increases our. The main thing is it increases our charisma by 2 points. So I used those 2 extra points that we had to put into strength, so we don't get any negative bonuses basically. And this actually can help out a lot of sorcerers. The Ion of Leadership, Ion Stone of Leadership. Yeah, I think there's other items like this out there that increase the stat. There's like one for I think intelligence and stuff. So keep an eye out for those. Those are actually pretty good. And it requires attunement, but yeah, not bad. For armor, I chose the Elven Chain. Basically one of the best downloads for sorcerers. And a Ring of Spell Storing, just to give you more spells. If, as I said, Grayfia is basically a pyromancer, so maybe some spells that she can't do, maybe, and then you can use the Ring of Spell Storing to basically get those spells. A Cloak of Protection to increase our AC, and a Wand of Magic Missiles. Magic Missiles is also another one of my favorite spells. And if you can, maybe get up a Staff of the Magi. As this thing is bonkers. Like, I mean, take a look at all the stats. I believe it's gonna be this idea. It's just crazy how much we can do with these, with the Staff of the Magi. And this is how our character sheet is gonna look like. If I click the right thing, there we go. Yeah, so as mentioned before, strength is not a negative modifier anymore. It's because at the end we switched over here, and our charisma's maxed out. And this is how it looks like. I'm actually pretty happy with this allocation of points, as we don't have any negative modifiers, which is a thing I usually go for whenever I'm building a character or playing a character in a game. Yeah, armor class is 17, which is pretty high for a sorcerer if I do say so myself. Yeah, basically that's it. Now the main things you want to look at are gonna be our attunement slots. Usually I try to leave one open whenever I make these builds, so anyone else can grab something if they want to. But I think for this build, it's actually going to be pretty good. The Cloak of Protection, the Ring of Spell Storing, and the Ion Stone of Leadership, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and it's going to be it. Yeah, that's going to be it. I don't think there's anything else I need to go over. Only that if you want to learn more about this character, the previous video uploaded is going to be about her. So yeah, give that a shot. I've also done a video on her husband. If you want to see that, it'll probably be linked either in the description or in the cards of this video. Yeah, and check out some other stuff. Also check out my other channel, Average at Best Gaming, just to show some support. Yeah, it's gonna be it. Leave a like, subscribe, comment down below if you have any suggestions for the future videos. The next videos about on a D&D character is gonna be Humphrey Gella from He Who Fights with Monsters, and hopefully you guys like that. Yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!